Hello, everybody. All right, welcome to our weekly team call. I'm really excited about our guest speaker tonight. Has been on the team for a hot minute, and I'm so excited for you guys to hear from her. I'm going to read her bio really quick in case you didn't know all these fun facts about her. She is married to Luke, and she has two boys. She stays home helping run their family farm. She earned a college degree in violin performance. Did not know that, Becky. I knew you were a violinist, but that's so fun. My degree was in viola performance, so fun fact there for you guys. She spent time in the 9 to 5 world, but wanted more flexibility and freedom to be present with her family. Now she's passionate about feeling her best and encouraging others to take simple steps toward a healthier, more balanced life. And she has been faithfully working this business through all the ins and outs of working full time, giving her the golden hours of her day to someone else to help build their career and all the things. And now Plexus basically has retired her in a sense, and she's home full time. She was telling me earlier that she more like doubled or more than doubled her salary from her existing job, and that enabled her to say the best yes to staying home and being able to work Plexus from home and managing her time how she wants, which is so cool. But I'm really excited for you guys to hear from her tonight. So I'm just going to go ahead and turn it over to her. Becky, thanks for sharing with us tonight.
Hey, everybody. So glad to see everybody on. And thank you, Megan, for allowing me to share tonight. So fun. And I see a lot of new faces on. I don't think they've heard my story before. So I'm just going to briefly share my testimony, if that's okay. I know you wanted to keep it at 30 minutes, so hopefully we will. Okay, so when I got started with Plexus, I was dealing with a lot of joint pains, and this was back in June 2020. And I had already, I'd already dove into like the natural remedies and all that kind of stuff. I truly believe in getting to the root and healing. I believe that our bodies can heal when we address those symptoms with herbs and things like that. But I was missing gut health. Like no one had ever shared about gut health with me. Like prebiotics, probiotics. I knew kraut was good for me, but I didn't really dive into that a whole lot. So anyway, I started feeling better after I started the pink drink and the collagen. So that was like halfway through the month. I was like, I'm sold. Like whatever this stuff is, I love it. It's helping me. It's working. Um, And at the time, this was, like I said, it was back June 2020, which is when things got a little crazy, right? COVID hit. And my husband was like, we need to homeschool the boys. And so, sorry, somebody popped in, distracted me. So here I was diving into homeschooling. At the time, I was working at the school as a teacher assistant. So yes, I was working full time, and um, but then everything stopped. Like literally in March, they were like, "Everybody's going home." I'm like, "What in the world is going home?" You know. So, um, sorry, got lost. So anyway, I I knew I had to get my products covered because we were depending on my income to help pay for bills. So, which was not a whole lot. I mean, teacher assistants don't get paid a lot, but I mean, every bit helps, right? So, um, I started feeling a lot better. I was diving into all the products, researching them, listening to training videos, everything I could. And I actually, I made my first post. I went back and I looked at the date. So I started the products June 2020. My first post was in August sometimes. I actually started at the end of June, so probably didn't get my products until July. So the next month, I made my first post, and I had a lot of people commenting and mainly saying, "Oh, Vicky, you look so pretty," and things like that. I was terrified to make my post. I wasn't on social media hardly at all. I mean, um, I had some friends, but I wasn't on social media. I may have posted occasionally my boy's picture or something about the farm, but we were not on social media hardly at all. So the next month, I did go silver, but I didn't get the fast start bonus. And I remember asking Melly, I didn't really understand everything. She said everything right, but I just wasn't catching the vision. And I was like, oh, yeah, I could get my products covered. But I didn't go fast start silver. So I was bummed about that. But then I just was gradually learning and learning how to do all the things. I was very slow. Like 2 years in, I don't think I even reached out to anybody about the business. So if that tells you anything. So anyway, let me get to my notes because I'm getting off track. So I know y'all want to know how I went senior Ruby, which I went senior Ruby in April 2025, and my points ended at 761. So just sharing that real quick. So roughly, like I said, it took me a little over a month to go silver because I didn't do it within the 30 days, or I didn't do the fast start. So, okay. So the first thing I want to talk about is fears along the way that I've had. And I want to say this, that personal growth is one of the biggest things that I feel like has been the biggest blessing for me out of this, because like I said, I was terrified to make that first post. So, and I look back, I kind of laugh because like I'm doing a Zoom call right now and it kind of terrifies me, but I'm here, I'm doing it. So I want to say this, like everybody's journey is going to look different because nobody's walking in your shoes. You're not walking in my shoes. You don't know how far somebody's come. You don't know how scary it really is for certain people. And so just give yourself some grace and just keep trucking along. If I can do this, you can do this. Okay, so some of the fears that I had was, of course, like I said, making my first post, going live. I still get a little nervous about that. I actually went live for the first time, I think, back in June. So 5 years in, I just went live not too long ago. So I'm not saying you shouldn't do that. You definitely should do it if you want to move faster, I think. So when I started, the belief in the products was so high for me that it was very easy for me to share with other people. Because honestly, I couldn't wait to share with the next person who I knew was struggling with something, because I really wanted to help. Like that is a true passion of mine, is really to help people. And so that part was not scary. The reach outs were not scary. I will say this too, that my husband was not on board for a good long time. And so I had to do things in a way that was pleasing to him because I wanted to have his blessing and be respectful too. So, so he told me not to reach out to certain people. Like church people, he's like, don't reach out to them. I mean, he would say it's okay now because he's caught the vision too, and he understands that we're not bugging people when we sincerely want to help, you know. So it's a totally different viewpoint that he had to learn, and I had to overcome some mindset shifts on that too when it comes to reaching out. But I wasn't nervous at all about reaching out, so that wasn't a fear. Being myself and showing up, just being me, that was really hard to express myself. And the only way to really get over that, y'all, is just doing it, just taking the action anyway. It's the only way you're going to get better at it. I mean, you can tweak some things and learn from what works and what don't work, but just show up and be yourself, have fun with it, and see where the Lord takes you with it, because He can do a lot of great things by using you. So, comparison. Don't compare your journey to the other person. Like I said, you're not walking their shoes, they're not walking in yours. And something else is like that I've learned. I have people tell me all the time, "Oh my goodness, it's been so fun watching you bloom," because I guess they saw that first post and they've seen that I've been bolder and bolder and maybe a little more confident than I used to be. But then you've got the new friend that I just added on Facebook, and so I think it's a good reminder to have in the back of your mind that everybody that sees you posting, they think, oh my goodness, she's such a natural at this. She's just doing this so naturally. No, it did not come natural to me. I had to learn some skills and I had to work on it. So remember that when you're talking to new people that want to share them, or tell them that, show them your first post. And just if it was scary for you, or tell them something that was scary for you at the beginning, that it's totally normal to have those fears. I guess when it came to the messaging part, detaching myself emotionally to the outcome, whatever that was. If it was a no or getting ghosted, sometimes that was hard to take in for me. I would take it very personal, especially from people I knew. And I just did. I just, I think sometimes that's normal, but just remember it's not about you, it's about them. So that will really help with getting over that. Okay, sorry, my notes are everywhere. Okay, and the other thing I wanted to talk about was your why. To me, this is the big one for me because I really, really wanted to work from home. I now have dinners at a decent hour, although Cody's having to finish this one because they just got in and that wasn't my fault. But normally I have dinners early. You could ask Jennifer. She's like, why are you having dinner at 9 o'clock? I'm like, because that's how we roll around here. Well, now we have dinner a lot earlier, and it's so nice. And it's such a blessing to be able to have a more balanced life where I'm not feeling rushed all the time, working a full time job, coming home, trying to spend time with my family. I'm not saying you can't do it because I did, but I wanted to be home so bad. I was willing to push and work in the nooks and crannies during my lunch break when I was working full time. I kind of left out this part. So, yes, we homeschooled for 2 years, and then Luke wanted me to go back to work. So, I did build this business while working full time, and it's totally doable. You can grow at a steady, slow pace, or work as much as you want to get where you want to go. But I really worked a lot and I sacrificed some time with my family. But to me, it's been totally worth it to be home and to get to do the things that I want to do to help out and not feel so overwhelmed with life and all the things. Okay, so that was my why, was to be home full time, and I think that's what pushed me to have more grit, push me out of my comfort zone a little bit more. And don't lose sight of your why, no matter what it is. Don't lose sight of it. Have it in front of you all the time, and it's going to change. Your why will change. Yes, I'm Senior Ruby, and I'm making double what I was making double. I would love to maintain that. It's kind of gone like this at times, and that's totally normal. But don't lose sight of your why. Like, even if it's something small, like you can reach whatever goals you're going after, whether it's silver, emerald, whatever. Everybody's why is a little different. And now my why is a little bigger. Now I want to see my team reach their goals. I know I have some team members on here. And so y'all can do this. Put that goal out there in front of you and just go after it. Don't lose sight of it. Something I really loved about the Plexus, I guess, business opportunity is that the community, y'all, the community here is wonderful. I have worked at all kinds of different jobs, and this is the most positive atmosphere ever. And I'm not saying the other one wasn't, like at times, but I feel like this is just always people are pouring into you. You're becoming a better person in so many ways. And it's just, wow, it's amazing. And you don't always get that everywhere you go, you know? You get to hear so many negatives everywhere else, I feel like. And sometimes maybe that's because they don't love their job. So I don't know. Could be. Maybe they're not happy where they're at and they're just stuck. They're just going through the everyday, life. And I'm not saying I don't sometimes don't like this job. It's not always roses or whatever, but it's somebody is always going to uplift you and cheer you on. We pray as a team, and it's such a Christian atmosphere, and I love that. Um, because, and I'll say this, I'm not gonna lie. At my other job, I was like counting down the days till the next snow day, the next holiday, or whatever, and I just didn't want to go through life feeling like that. Um, I felt like I was wishing my life away. So I don't want to ever feel like that, you know? Okay, last thing, consistency. Um,
No, no, no. You're
I
still
mean,
fine.
this one is, it's like going to the gym. You're not going to get results unless you show up and go every day or, at least 3 times a week if you want to improve your physical appearance or whatever, your health in that area. You're going to have to keep going, right? And something that really stuck out to me when I first started sharing, I think it was Melody said this. She was like, just remember your page is like a storefront. You gotta let people know that you're open. If you haven't showed up in like 2 weeks, no one's probably gonna remember that you're even doing Plexus. So you've got to at least be showing up. And I'm not saying post 4 Plexus posts in a row, but you've got to at least be making 1 Plexus post a day. That's like non-negotiable in my opinion. And I will say that something I've learned over the years is that, especially when you kind of start getting out of your warm market, um, you kind of have to show up with some posts that can bring value to people and they learn to trust you. And I mean, that's just part of it. We're in a people business, and that's something I've really been diving into more than ever lately. So, and I understand the importance of it for sure. And I laugh about it because when I first started sharing Melody, I told her, I was like, Melody, I'm not a chit chat person. I don't like a lot of conversation. I'm a quiet person. And I'm just pretty much like, I'll just share about Plexus. I don't have to like develop a relationship. And I'm not saying you have to spend like a ton of time on every person, but it is important, I think, because it shows them that you care about them and you want the best for them. That's something else I meant to mention. When I first started sharing and I had like my little group of customers, I took a lot of pride and care in those customers because I was so excited for them. And that is something I feel like I've kind of slacked off on doing. And I shouldn't do that, but it's kind of hard to balance it all, I feel like sometimes. But you can do it. Just take a day. I used to take Fridays to do my Friday check-in. Everybody knows Friday check-in. And just take time to do that, like really ask questions. Be willing to make sure that they understand that they need to give it 60 to 90 days. Don't just do it to make a quick sale. There's things that I've learned. I wish I could go back and do things differently sometimes, but this is you are learning skills all along through this. And the best thing is that you can take this it's not just in Plexus, it's in like real life skills. It's wonderful. I mean, I think it just applies to so many different things. Okay, so like I said, I got Senior Ruby in April, and I think Kirsten is on here, maybe. But anyway, she went gold.
I'm here. Sorry, I couldn't get myself unmuted, but yes, I'm here, Becky.
Okay. You went gold in May? No, I'm sorry. You went gold in April. Yes, you went gold in April. That was when I went Senior Ruby. She was like this rock star that came in and got me to Senior Ruby. But it's just been a blessing. I mean, I have an amazing team. They're all just amazing, and I've had some people go gold along the way and then they quit, and some people go silver and they quit, and that's fine. You're going to have those people, but you'll find people that really want to do this with you, and it becomes so fun when you have a team working together with you. So I was going to talk about duplicating too, and that was part of the consistency. Is like I said, it was 2 years in, and I didn't really talk about the business at all, so I wouldn't do that. But like I said, I had a strong belief in the products, and I was just excited to share that. But definitely don't be afraid to, as soon as a new VIP comes in, don't be afraid to immediately say, hey, who's your buddy that you're going to do this with you? Or who's the buddy that you're going to have do this with you? Like immediately after they join. I'm not afraid to share that anymore. At first, I was very hesitant. I don't know. That's a mindset shift that I had to work on. So duplication is key. If you've got it, it's like the power of three. If you can try to get the 3 people signed up and help everyone else get 3 people signed up, that's what it takes. Because I started doing that a lot here and there, helping people add 1 or 2 friends and doing a lot of little parties. Not a lot in person, but I did do some in person. I've been doing a lot of messenger events, did a lot of Facebook events, and I mean, it's what it took. So I hope I probably forgot something, but I'm just so thankful that I get to be doing this, and I'm so thankful that y'all listen to me. You're here.
Love it. Love it. Okay. I have some questions for you. And I'm sure those of you who are listening have some questions for Becky. So I want to pull out a couple of nuggets because she shared that she went Senior Ruby. And then she gave some specifics on the things that she did to do that. And it's compounding over time, right? This was not an overnight where she all of a sudden blitzed from, 0 to, what is it? Is it 100 people? No, 150, right?
Yeah.
150.
Yeah. I mean, I would go down and up, all the time. But like I said, my why was always in front of me. I've got to make this much, and I've got to get to this range.
Yes. So she had specific goals in mind. And then she didn't go from 0 to 150 people on her team overnight or by osmosis, like just magically it happened, right? It was daily consistent work that she was doing every single day in the midst of her busy schedule. So I think the thing to pull from this is, number one, you can do this in your busy life, whatever working full-time looks like for you, whether you're home full-time, whether you're working outside the home full-time, whatever that looks like, right? And then she shared.
You don't have to sacrifice. Sorry. You don't have to sacrifice. I was willing to do some things that maybe not everybody's wanting to do, but you can do it. Like, you can work this business in 30 minutes and get a lot done, but you just have to be very specific with what you're doing, and it will grow. It will grow, y'all.
Yes. And so the specific things that she shared, I hope you guys were hearing this with what she was talking about. She talked about posting, and posting is like the lifeline to this business. So if you're not posting, you need to start, and you need to do it consistently. And like she was saying, it wasn't just posting Plexus stuff, because she went from basically not really posting on social media to all of a sudden, oh, I'm going to share Plexus. Well, that also means I'd have to show up and post about other things too, to add value and to build trust with people, not just posting about Plexus. And then she talked about power of three. So posting and power of three, that is the way you go senior Ruby. And power of three basically means anyone that you're helping to get started on the products or the business, whichever reason they're starting, then she's right away helping them duplicate. So grab a buddy, grab 3 friends, let's go silver. Like, she's having those duplicating conversations. And Becky, would you say people came to you 100% because of your posting, or did you also reach out to people? Can you talk about that for a minute?
Most of the time it was because of my posting.
Okay.
And we have other things, like people knew me from different ways. Like, we have our farm. I teach buying lessons. I sell Australian Shepherds and Nubian goats. I'm not saying you have to do all these things, but just, find ways to actually meet people in person too, I think is a good way. And you could build trust that way too. Mm-hmm. So when people really know you.
And so think about the areas in your life, everyone that's listening, think about the areas in your life where you have or are building trust with people. So like Becky came into Plexus and she was already busy doing lots of other things in relationship with other people. And that fed into her Plexus business, because then once she started showing up consistently and posting, then people were coming to her. And we talked about this on a leader call earlier today, that there is a direct correlation with how much you're posting and how many people you sign as customers in a given month. So if you haven't tried that yet, where you are increasing how much you're showing up on social media and posting, try it. And this is theoretical. I'm not going to say A plus B equals C guarantee, but you're going to be more likely to reach more people because different people are seeing your posts at different times, right? And it's not just Plexus posting. It's also making sure that your non-Plexus content is good stuff, right?
Something else I will add in, that like on Mondays, I would try to do a motivational post. Tuesdays was testimony. Wednesday was just about a product. So you don't have, like, if you're struggling with like, what do I post? And also we have the rally chats now, which are amazing. So if you don't know what to post, just kind of plan out your day. I would actually post before I went to work because I wasn't allowed to be on my phone all day, except during lunchtime. And so I would make sure I planned my post before I left, took a quick selfie, out the door I went. So there's those little times where you can just, if you're working a full-time job, you can make it work really easy and not feel like it's stressful at all.
Yes. So, that's the thing, is like Becky found a way because she had a vision of what she wanted to create. And so, she made it work around what was already structured into her life. And so that's the beauty of what Plexus is. It's just being proactive and strategic in doing the work to make sure it gets done. And we talked about this earlier on a call about being systematic. And so Becky literally just gave you a system for posting. Monday is motivational Monday. Tuesday is testimony Tuesday. Wednesday could be wellness Wednesday, whatever, just to kind of give yourself a framework of like what to post. So your brain is already thinking along those lines. Can you tell us about reaching out? Do you reach out now to people, or do people still primarily come to you from your posting?
I reach out. I'm trying to reach out more about the business, honestly. So it's a little different, but yeah, I'm reaching out more about the business, I'd say, than anything.
Previously, did you reach out also about the products?
On some of them, yeah. Like, I didn't post about the business till 3 years in too. So I remember when I first started, I made a post about going on a trip or something, and Luke's like, "You can't post that. Like, that's," he didn't like it. I didn't take it down, but I didn't like it. And I remember a girl under Melody, she went on the trip. I didn't get to go, even though I think I did try to earn it, but I didn't. It's okay. But I remember when I first earned my trip, though, and I went on one, I noticed people really started to watch me a whole lot more. So I don't know. I mean, I think if you show up and you make a business post too every now and then, that's really you're gonna attract the people that you want to attract, you know? So
100%. Yeah. And so, I mean, we all know that there's no magic in like the messaging necessarily. It really has to flow from your heart and
yeah.
who the person is, how you know them. Like you're not gonna show up in someone's DM with a bestie type message if you haven't talked to them in 15 years. I think that's sometimes why network marketing gets a bad rap, or why there's a connotation of like about it, because if you're not intuitive with how you're reaching out to people, like it can really come across like bad. And so
And
can you be
I did a lot of bad messaging at the time.
well, I think we all did. I think we all do, or did.
I was cold messaging a lot, and some of them did not come out very good, I think.
But you can't say the wrong thing to the right person, so to speak. So I mean, I don't think it's that. I think that the heart behind what you're saying, even if it's not whatever said perfectly, there's no such thing of that anyways. Like I think if it's coming from your heart, it's going to be received hopefully that way, and where people feel honored that you reached out, even if their answer is no thank you or not right now.
I think the messages I was sending out, like I had about, let's say, 800 friends in my Facebook. So I don't even remember how I became friends with that person on Facebook, because I've been on Facebook since college. So I just would reach out and say, hey, I'm just messaging some friends about what I've been doing. I'm taking these supplements. They help with X, Y, and Z. Have you ever heard of it? I wasn't like, hey, do you want to try Lexus?
Yeah, no, that is a great little starter message. And I honestly will say the same thing. A lot of times if I notice that I've never talked to one of my Facebook friends, I'll just say, oh my word, you'll have to remind me how we met. I don't even remember. Was it in the large family group? Like just to break the ice so that it's just not like this random message. Although I've done lots of random messages and it's not that they don't work.
Sometimes you do get somebody that will join.
On the team right now looking at me where I randomly reached out and it wasn't so random. They were ready,
Yeah. Or they were looking for a supplement at the time.
Exactly.
You never know.
That's me. Yes. Okay. I think it's really interesting about the structure, and that can you share with everybody, like you're not a level one to Melody. She didn't personally recruit you to the business for the products or the business. Can you explain that? I think that's a really interesting piece of your story too.
Yeah. So Melody, I think got to know my sister, Crystal, through a group on Facebook. I can't remember which one. Melody, you'll have to remind me. But so I actually joined under my sister, Crystal, and she was under Melody. And so I knew I had to get my products covered because I was feeling great and we didn't have the income coming in since I quit my job. So I reached out to Melody, didn't even hardly know her. And I was like, hey, can you do an event like you did for my sister? And she was like, of course. And so I was really bold in just asking her questions. I loved everything she was posting. I just became Melody's best friend. Or I felt like she was my best friend. And I don't have a lot of close friends, y'all. So that's another thing I love about this community is that she just took me in and just treated me like she was just so sweet to me. And I needed a friend at the time. So
yes, I think that's so fun about your story. So, okay, to throw a loop around all of this. So you guys that are on, show some love in the chat with either a question for Becky or something that you learned from her story that you really appreciated and gleaned from. But Becky, like if we could just throw a loop around, like if you could go back and do this over again, like what would you do differently? Or if you want to just kind of chime in like a homework thing that you want people to work on. Let's just kind of throw a loop around it.
I would definitely probably post more, because when I first started, I was posting about twice a week, I'd say, roughly. I would have went live and been bold about sharing my story. I still need to do that more often. I would have had more events. I had to learn how to create those events. I'm not very tech savvy, so there was a lot of learning skills I had to learn. Jennifer, actually, I think you were the one that helped me do a live because I was too chicken. So, I mean, everybody brings in so many different talents, and um, they're all creative in their own way. And so, yeah, I would have probably just tried to do it all a little quicker than what I was doing it because I had to get over so many fears. I mean, I was fearful to make a post. I was just fearful of every little thing. And it's so freeing to just say, I don't feel like that anymore. And I don't want other people to, we shouldn't fear. I mean, it says it in the Bible 365 times, I think. So, God does not give us a spirit of fear. And that always was in the back of my mind, too. Like, well, why do I have that fear? What is this root issue that I have with fear of people? And so I'm still learning to figure out why exactly I have those kind of fears. But I'm getting there. But yeah, I would have just moved faster and everything. I probably would have reached out to some people right off the bat. Like when she first had my event, Melody had the event, she was trying to hint in nice ways like, oh, why don't you go message everybody and tell them thank you for coming or whatever. And I don't think I did anything. Some of the things she said do, I don't think I did them. So, yeah, hard lesson learned. A lot of those people, I think they ended up joining another supplement company. They came to my event, but I never reached out to them until way later, and they had already started with somebody else. So, yes, I wish I had done things, a little quicker. But, I mean, everybody has their own pace.
Yes.
I had to learn some things.
Yes. So the bottom line is if you want to go faster, reach out more, post more, host more events, and go live. And literally that is the crux of this business, and just doing that more and better every single time. It's all practice, right? The 4-H way is learn by doing. That was my motto when I started. It's like, all right, I'm just gonna learn. It's gonna be bad, and I'm okay being bad at first until I get better. And so I think that's the thing. And I love that you shared that you had a lot of fears, because it's normal. I think it's common, unless you've been in this kind of industry or this kind of business before. A lot of us have not. And so we get on the job training where we're getting paid to learn these skills, which is cool. Yeah. I wanted to remind you guys that there's a development bonus if you develop a silver or a senior silver this month. And so make sure that you're looking at the details on that, because there's bonuses for that. Anyone on the team that goes silver or senior silver, we're doing Owala bottle giveaways. So I just wanted to remind everybody. I posted it on the team page, and then I think it might have gotten buried with all the Super Saturday stuff. So tag your people in that. And also, I feel like there's one other thing I was going to say. Yes, so silver, senior silver is the name of the game this month. Working towards those development bonuses. And then don't forget about next week. We're going to do an opportunity call, and Brandy Hutchins and Lisa Goodwin are hosting that. Some other senior rubies on the team. We're getting the senior rubies to shine right now, because they're going to be going emerald, which is the first jewel rank in Plexus, and it's very exciting. So, Becky, this is so good. Thank you guys for popping on. Thank you, Becky, for sharing. This is also encouraging. And if this didn't light your fire, my dad always says this: if this doesn't light your fire, your wood's wet. So the goal with these team calls is to light your fire so that you feel inspired. And I would encourage everyone, before you hop off and go re-enter the vortex of family, go and sit in your, once you hop off the Zoom, go take some practical application from this call and reach out, post, live, and or figure out when you're going to do an event. Okay, that would be taking Becky's homework assignments and putting them into action immediately. We always talk about the tasks for immediate action, and this would be practical, very simple to go do it as soon as we hop off the call. So we're letting you guys go a little early tonight so you guys can go do that. All right. Thank you, Becky. That was awesome. I'll get the recording up. Thanks everyone for hopping on. See you guys.